My name is Stephanie Odell, and I have been on the board for the last 8 years, and I have enjoyed every minute of it. Oh, I love going to schools and seeing the kids, seeing the teachers. You know, the kids love to show off what they're learning, and I love being involved. Well, I grew up in Fort Worth until I was 12, and then we moved to Austin, and in 6th grade, so you know that's a big shock you move when you're in 6th grade in middle school. But it worked out great. I actually met my best friend that I'm still best friends with today. She teaches in McKinney and she lives here, so that's a great blessing. My best friend is Belinda Bryant Parker. She's the youngest of 4 girls, and so I felt like I had sisters when I hung around with her. But she knew everybody because her sisters were older, so I just wanted to stand next to her and I would get introduced to people, so that was the greatest thing ever. And she's still my best friend. And then school, I love school, well, because it was social, so that was always fun. But I had a great history teacher in high school. Of course, he was a coach, but he really made me start loving history. And so I took extra history classes in college. I had a great history professor in college, and I still love history and documentaries, and yeah, history is fascinating. For college, I grew up in Austin, and I was filling out an application to maybe Colorado State, somewhere in Colorado. Oh, I thought I wanted to go to Colorado or somewhere out of state. And I'm filling out my application, and then I also had to fill out an application to UT because I'm in Austin, right? So I'm filling out that application, and I go, Mom, what dorm am I gonna live in? And she goes, no, you're gonna live in this dorm right here at home. And I was like, rip, I'm going to A&M. So, and it's funny because apparently my parents wanted me to go to A&M. You know, it was, I guess maybe at the time smaller, but A&M is a more, you know, it's a campus, community revolves around Aggies. And I loved every minute of it. I came back from fish camp completely brainwashed, doing yells, and my parents were like, whoa. I majored in marketing, and I worked at the Hyatt so I could travel, so that was wonderful. I got to go to Hawaii, that was great. And then I was in sales for a little while. After my husband and I got married, I sold fertilizer to golf courses, which is very interesting. But I was working for my father-in-law, yes, and I was putting my husband through law school. So it was a very flexible schedule, so it worked out. It was great. We didn't have any money, and we had a good time. My husband went to UT. Yes, so we met after college. Yeah, we met at church playing volleyball after college. And so we got married in '91, and we're in Austin for a year and then moved to Dallas so he could go to law school. So, and we've been in this area ever since, '92. And we've been married almost 32 years. And yeah, he's an attorney, and he recently completed a wooden boat. He built a 20-foot long wooden boat, and it has an inboard motor, and it took him 5 years. And so it's very impressive. And yes, I did help some. So but it's very impressive, and it's named after me, so. Well, we were in Dallas, and then we were wanting to move out of Dallas. My husband wanted a newer house, he wanted better schools, and we looked all over Richardson, couldn't find anything. And that we liked, you know, we had, yeah. So we looked at McKinney. Of course, you get more for your money in McKinney when we bought, but that was in 2003. When it was starting to boom, and yeah. So we came all the way out here, and we've loved it ever since. And now we live in downtown McKinney in a historic home, and we love that. So, and our kids love the schools. It was a great move for our kids. I mean, yeah. And my daughter, my youngest daughter, is a senior at Boston University, and she had some friends come visit over Christmas from out of state, and she took them all around McKinney. Took them to downtown, you know, by the stadium. She bragged and bragged about McKinney, and I was like, that makes me so proud. So yeah, my husband and I have been married for 32 years, and I have 2 daughters. My oldest daughter is 26, and she's married, and she's in Houston, and we love her husband. He's wonderful. And my youngest daughter is a senior at Boston University, and so no more college payments, yay! So she loves it up there. Fortunately, she has an uncle up there, my husband's brother, who can help take care of her when needed. But yeah, she loves it up there. She's met a lot of friends, and yeah. But, oh, I know what I was thinking when what I wanted to be when I grew up. I was like, well, I always wanted to be a mom. And that's the greatest, hardest job ever. So, but I feel like I don't know, my kids are grown, out of school, and they made it. So that's good. My daughters had great experiences at McKinney ISD. My oldest daughter was in volleyball, and she had just a great experience. I mean, you know, there's ups and downs in anything, but it was really great for her. Made great friends. And my youngest daughter went all the way through, and she was in GT and had challenging classes and loved AP classes. She was in theater. Student council, she was super busy and she loved all of it. And she learned so much through student council, calling businesses, raising money. She was treasurer and they did a carnival and they had thousands of dollars they were dealing with. So she learned so much doing, extracurricular things. And then her classes, she loved her history classes, of course, and her AP art classes. She was always challenged and she loved it. They do see the value of McKinney, the blessings they have here and the great schools that we have. My daughter in Houston helps refugees when they come to the United States, helps them get acclimated, situated, and she actually found some kids that were from Afghanistan that weren't registered for school, and of course her organization got them all registered. Well, they were only 1.7 miles away from the school. That means there's no bus because it's too close. So she goes, my church has a van. So she and her friends arranged to carpool these, take the van and take these 15 kids to school in the morning and the afternoon, pick them up in the afternoon. And they did that for probably about a month, and then Houston ISD was able to do something. But I was like, oh, that's so wonderful that you want. And she's like, these kids need to be in school. I'm like, absolutely, they need to be in school. I've always been involved in McKinney education. I was on PTAs, PTOs, in McKinney Education Foundation, and I love it. I just, love being involved. I think public education is very important, and everybody should have access to public education. And there was an opening on the board, and so they interviewed people, and I was actually appointed in 2014, and then in 2015 I had to run, and I am in the at-large position, so anybody in McKinney can vote for me. So I ran in 2015, 2019, and then I'll run again. And it's important to me because people in McKinney and, well, to me, all over Texas need to know what great schools we have in McKinney. We have great schools, we have great facilities, we are blessed here, we have many opportunities for our kids, and people need to know all these wonderful things. To me, it's easy to let people know. I mean, on social media, I try to post the great things because there's so many. We win awards for fine arts, we win awards for financial transparency. But if anybody asks me about McKinney schools, I'm happy to tell them, we have great people, we have great, again, programs, great facilities. Because I love it so much, it's so easy to talk about. So I thought about this question yesterday, and I kind of had a list, and then I went, wait a minute, I know what my favorite thing is. My favorite thing is the people at MISD, the central office from the top down. Of course, I'm a fan of Dr. McDaniel, he's done a wonderful job. I'm a fan of the cabinet, I'm a fan of you. Everybody here, honestly, cares about kids. Teachers care about kids. Teachers go above and beyond. I see that, the schools, the teachers are families, and they care about each other. So our people are what's my favorite thing about McKinney ISD. And again, I'm trying to focus on what's good, because we have a lot of good things. We can always work harder, we can always do more, we can always raise our test scores, but we are doing great things. And it's obvious by our kids, by the scores they do receive, and the awards we get, fine arts, athletics, I could go on and on. There's 2 students at McKinney High that won Crestbridge scholarships, and that's $250,000 each, and to Brown and Stanford. So, and then that's just one school, and I could go on and on about students. There's a lot of positive things, and that's what I really want to focus on, the positive. So I believe that most of our community knows that we have great schools, great people, great teachers.